So it is said that today's youth is tomorrow's future leaders. Correct? How many of you feel that I'm not a leader? Okay, we'll make you leader, alright? So generally when we say leader, people want to lead others, right? But one who leads himself first, then he can lead others, alright? So before we start this session, we'll play a small video so that you'll have a small background from where I'm coming from, and then we will try to deep dive into the session. I hope I don't want to make this session more of information. I want to have a lot of transformation. So are you all ready for it?
Yes.
Say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. Did they all have breakfast in the morning?
Yes. Yes.
Fantastic. That's great. Okay.
भगवान की दिव्य लीला तथा नाम में मग्न होकर अपना शरीर त्याग करने आते हैं। परंतु वहां एक 70 वर्षीय वृद्ध सन्यासी अमेरिका जाने की तैयारी कर रहे हैं। ये 70 वर्षीय वृद्ध सन्यासी एक मालवाहक जहाज में अमेरिका के लिए निकल पड़े हैं। वे कोई पर्यटक के रूप में नहीं, अपितु संपूर्ण विश्व में एक आध्यात्मिक व सांस्कृतिक क्रांति लाने की उमंग लेकर चल पड़े हैं। वे अपने साथ श्रीमद् भागवतम से भरा एक संदूक, टाइपराइटर, एक छाता और 40 रुपए लेकर निकले हैं, जिन वस्तुओं का अमेरिका में प्रायः कोई मूल्य नहीं है। उनके गुरु का आदेश उनकी एकमात्र प्रेरणा है। विश्व भर में श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु के संदेश का प्रचार करो। कई महीनों के कड़े संघर्ष के बाद चमत्कार होने लगा। अमेरिका की दिग्भ्रमित युवा पीढ़ी इन वृद्ध सन्यासी के आध्यात्मिक संदेश के प्रति आकर्षित होने लगी। यह हिप्पी युवा पीढ़ी अब हैप्पी बन रही थी। केवल 1 वर्ष के संघर्ष के पश्चात इन सन्यासी ने एक आध्यात्मिक आंदोलन अंतरराष्ट्रीय कृष्ण भावनामृत संघ की स्थापना की। वे 12 वर्षों में संपूर्ण पृथ्वी का 14 बार भ्रमण करते हुए लगभग सभी प्रमुख देशों में अपने संस्था के केंद्र स्थापित करते हैं। साथ ही साथ वे अपने सबसे महत्वपूर्ण योगदान पर हमेशा कटिबद्ध रहे और 60 से अधिक ग्रंथों का अनुवाद एवं टीका करके अपनी संस्था को एक सशक्त आधार देते हैं।
कि 4 फुटा का पाप छोड़ दो और भगवान की सेवा करो। सेवा माने सबका भगवान का चिंतन करो, भगवान की भक्ति करो। पैसा है तो भगवान का खूब अच्छी तरह से मंदिर बनाओ, खूब सेवा करो, खूब अच्छी तरह से भोग लगाओ। ये हमारा भारतीय कृषि है।
नशापान, मांसाहार, व्यभिचार और जुआ जैसे जीवन को नष्ट करने वाली आदतों में लिप्त लोग इनके संपर्क में आने से उन आदतों को पूरी तरह से त्यागने लगे और भगवान को केंद्र में रखते हुए पूर्णतया सज्जन पुरुष बन गए। उन्होंने 5000 से अधिक शिष्य को दीक्षा दिया। ये सब अद्भुत कार्य उन्होंने केवल 12 वर्षों में किया। ये महान हस्ती है अंतरराष्ट्रीय श्री कृष्ण भावनामृत के संस्थापक आचार्य कृष्ण कृपा मूर्ति श्री श्रीमद एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद। शास्त्रों में भविष्यवाणी थी, पृथ्वी ते आछे यत नगरादि ग्राम, सर्वत्र प्रचार होइबे मोर नाम। पृथ्वी के हर गांव और शहर में कृष्ण के नाम का प्रचार होगा। श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने विश्व में आध्यात्मिक एवं सांस्कृतिक क्रांति लाते हुए अपने योगदान को इतिहास के पन्नों में अंकित किया। जिस क्रांति को श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने प्रारंभ किया था उसे अब उनके अनुयायी आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं। वर्तमान समय में भारतीय लोग अपनी महान संस्कृति को भूलकर पाश्चात्य देशों को अनुकरण कर रहे हैं। परंतु इस्कॉन संस्था विश्व भर में भारतीय संस्कृति का प्रचार प्रसार कर रही है। श्रील प्रभुपाद की कृपा एवं मार्गदर्शन से उनके विश्वस्त अनुयायी उनका आंदोलन आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं।
वैष्णव जनरेशन ये टूटने वाला नहीं है। हम तो वैकृत हुआ अभी 78 वर्ष हो सकता कभी भी चला जाऊंगा, ताकि हमारा विश्वास है ये लोग चलाए देंगे, ये उधर नष्ट हो जाए।
प्रभुपाद ने 12 वर्षों में 100 से अधिक राधा कृष्ण के मंदिरों की स्थापना की। तदंतर उनके अनुयायियों ने 500 से अधिक मंदिर एवं सैकड़ों प्रचार केंद्र विश्व के कोने कोने में स्थापित किया। श्रील प्रभुपाद ने वैदिक शास्त्रों को भावुक रूप में प्रस्तुत न कर एक वैज्ञानिक रूप से प्रस्तुत किया। अनेक वैज्ञानिक उनसे आकर्षित होकर उनके शिष्य बने। प्रभुपाद के ग्रंथों का 60 से अधिक भाषाओं में अनुवाद कर 5 करोड़ से अधिक प्रतियां वितरित की है। वैदिक शास्त्रों में अंकित ब्रह्मांड के निर्माण की एक विशाल प्रदर्शनी मायापुर में बन रही है। ये विश्व की सबसे बड़ी वैदिक प्रदर्शनी टेम्पल ऑफ वैदिक प्लैनेटोरियम के नाम से जानी जाएगी। इस्कॉन के सारे कार्यों का एक अविभाज्य अंग, जिसे विश्व का कोई भी व्यक्ति बिना कोई पूर्व योग्यता के स्वीकार कर सकता है और जीवन की परम सफलता को प्राप्त कर सकता है, वो है भगवान श्री कृष्ण के दिव्य नामों का कीर्तन एवं श्री कृष्ण प्रसाद को ग्रहण करना।
हमको अकेले इतना किया है, अगर आप लोग सब आइएगा तो सब सारा दुनिया वैष्णव हो जाए। आप लोग थोड़ा सा पाकिस्तान के लिए रो रहा है, सब हिंदुस्तान हो जाए। तो आप लोग तो आते ही नहीं, हम क्या करें? अकेले जहाँ तक हो रहा है आप लोग आशीर्वाद कीजिए, आगे आओ बढ़े।
आप लोग भारतीय है, इस देश को उठाओ। देखिए तब अफ्रीकन लोग कैसे कीर्तन कर रहे हैं। तो सभी आप लोग, हम परदेश से आदमी ला करके नचाते हैं, आप लोग नहीं नचा सकते क्यों? ये हमारी बात, आप लोग नचाएंगे, आप लोग इधर है। ये बेचारे परदेशी अमेरिका से यूरोप से लाकर के इसको नचाने पड़ेगा हमको। ये निवेदन है, इसको ग्रहण कीजिए, इस तरह से काम कीजिए। सेंटर मौजूद है, अच्छी तरह से उसको बनाइए, जैसे शास्त्र में लिखा है उसे काम कीजिए, गुरु बन जाइए, उसको उठाइए। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Came to know from where I'm coming from, right? Where am I coming from? ISKCON, right? Good. Okay, so as I told you earlier, youth is a leader of tomorrow. Okay, so I'm very happy to see all the young, dynamic, very bright teenagers here, because you are the future generation for us. You are the leaders of the great society. So please, at any moment, don't feel that this is not for me. Okay, all of you can be the best leaders. So I would request you that just spend an hour with me, okay, and then we'll let you know what's going to happen by end of the session. All right. So are you all there on the same page? Okay, great. You all can try to repeat after me, okay? The more you learn, the more you earn. The more you learn. You heard this before? Exactly right. This statement is so true, right? Exactly. If you look at the statement, it says, the more you learn, the more you earn. if you see at the most successful people, they are successful because of one thing. They are successful because they use their time rightly. They are successful because they want to be committed as a learner, right? They don't want to waste their time, correct? So in a day we have 86,400 seconds, right? So how do we use the time? We make the time just disappear like that, and the time would never come back. So we have to use the time very wisely, correct? So this is a very nice topic because you're all into the bank. So we'll see how we can do the real investment in our life, okay? So can someone read for me? You have some more mics there? Mics, we have 1 or 2 mics. Okay, can someone read this for me from here?
Coming together is a beginning. Coming together is a beginning. Staying together is progress. And working together is success.
So, coming together is a beginning. So, we all have come today, right? It's a beginning. Staying together is a progress. That means we are in the pipeline. We are in the progress. We're making some attempt. And it says working together is the success. So, if you want to be successful, we have to work together. Alright? So there's a saying in English. Can someone read from me very loud? Sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, can somebody read from here loud?
Today, phones have become cardless.
It says, maybe I should go here, right? Okay. It says, today's phones have become cordless. Cars have become keyless. Communication has become wireless. Cooking has become, oh my God. Food has become fatless. Sweets have become, relationship has become, attitude has become, arguments have become, youth have become, but you have a job, don't worry about it, okay? Needs have become, salaries have become, you'll get more salary, yeah? And lives have become, because the reason is they have become godless. You see, if you're a God-conscious person, you have this nature. Give, give, give. If you're not a God-conscious person, get, and forget. Get, and forget. That's why it's very important that we have to be godly conscious people, okay? Alright, so please repeat after me, okay? This body is not all in all. This body is not all in all. The soul exists. This material world is not all in all. Spiritual world exists. We are not all in all. God exists. That means God exists. So sometimes what happens, we think I am the doer, right? And then we get baffled. It's very important because now you're into this new profile. So whenever you're doing something, don't feel that I am the doer of everything. Okay, so before I start this presentation, I would like to dedicate this presentation to Srila Prabhupada. You all saw the video, right? Okay, so one man from this great land of India, at the age of 70, he went across the globe in just 11 years. How many years? In just 11 years, he circled the globe 14 times. And then he built a beautiful temple. More than 108 temples. Today you can see all the foreign people. Okay, let me ask you some questions. Okay, I'll go a little more further. How many of you feel you're proud that you're born in India? Okay, I have a request. Whenever I ask questions, please raise your hands so that you get an opportunity to speak. Okay? So how many of you feel you're proud to be born in India? Okay. So I have a question for you. If you say you're proud to be born in India, do you have any reason for that? He says the culture is greatest. Let's say somebody is sitting here from Australia, okay? So I ask you, are you proud about your country? He also say yes. He'll also say culture. But what is the comparison when it comes to India? You feel very unique. Can someone tell me? You raise your hands. Okay. Okay, we live together. Okay. So yes, you're almost very close. The most amazing and unique about India is, as somebody said, culture, tradition, heritage, so many festivals, right? Now, you see, it says with great heritage comes great responsibility. As he mentioned, culture is exactly there. Okay. Now, generally when we go to school or college, we go with one motive, to have good education. So this word education, in Latin it says, educate, bring from within. Do you all know Sachin Tendulkar was a very good cricket player, right? But do you know he was a 10th dropout? Alright? But then how did he got charisma in the whole world? Because his teacher saw the spark in him, right? He thought this guy can play good cricket. So he trained him. Though he was a 10th dropout, today you ask any kid, he says, I want to become like a Sachin Tendulkar. Right? So never feel that only, you have a high qualification, you can be there. More important is values. What? Values. So I'll tell you a small story. Of course, education also called Vidya. So, what's your name? Kapil. Okay, let's say when Kapil was a small kid, just got into school. So you're from Pune, right? So let's say he been to our Pune zoo. We have a zoo, right? In Pune. So he went to a zoo. It was like adventure for Kapil. So he went and he saw there was one sculptor who was chiseling a rock. There was a big rock. He was just trying to do something. Our Kapil stood for hour. So what this guy is doing for a long time, couldn't know, but his time was going. So what he did? He left the place. After 1 month, Kapil comes back to the zoo and he's surprised. There is no more stone there. But instead of stone, there is a statue of a lion, PSA lion. Now, the question for Kapil is, where was this lion? Because he was surprised. He wanted to find the sculptor. He asked, can you please tell me where was the lion? Now the question for all of you, where was the lion? Raise your hands, please raise your hands. Okay, somebody says it was in the stone. Okay, fine. Any more answers? Yes. What's your name? Rahul. Can we have a big round of applause for Rahul? So he says it was in the mind of the sculptor. For example, do you have anybody who are very good in painting? It's not that you just put a pen, something you can draw. No, you have to first think what you want to draw, right? So exactly like Rahul said, it was the mind of the sculptor. That's why he was able to bring the rock into lion. So similarly, we all have this, skills, values and knowledge. Stay with us, but we need somebody to bring it out. But very important thing is that values plays a very important role. How come? For example, let's say I have a knife in my hand. If I give it to, what's your name? Rohan. So if Rohan is a doctor, he will use a knife in a very good cause. But let's say he is not a doctor, okay, and I give somebody else who's a robber. So what will he do? He will misuse it. I'll give an example, okay? Okay, before that, how many of you do face challenges in life? Be very honest. I face a lot of challenges. right? And how many of us did had some addiction issues, like watching TV, getting late in the morning? It happens, right? Please be very honest, okay? Hope you don't have to be in a, worry, okay? So what I want to share here, in one of my presentations, one of the students had addiction problem. What was addiction problem? He was a smoker. But then you see, the way I spoke, it made him sense. I told him that when you buy a cigarette packet, it's mentioned something. What's mentioned? Smoking is good for health. Sorry, what? Okay, injurious for health. Okay. But then, even after knowing that, people smoke and they say, it's cool, man. It's cool, right? Somebody says it's cool, right? It's not cool. I'll tell you why. Because you all know, smoking has 3 benefits. Oh my God, what Mark is saying? 3 benefits? Yeah, it has 3 benefits, 3 advantages. If you want to make a make note of it. What's the first benefit? People who smoke, they never become old. What was the first point? People who smoke, they never become old. Second benefit is, people who smoke, the robbers, thieves, they never come to your house. Wow, sounds interesting, right? And the third benefit is that people who smoke, the dog never come close to him. Now you may ponder, sir, how are you saying all these things? No, because I do smoke, no, I don't smoke, whatever. No, but I want to know the answer, right? So what was the first benefit? He never became old. Why? Because he dies young. Right? He never become old because he dies young. What is the second benefit? Robbers will never come to your house because the whole day is like coughing. So the robber comes to see somebody at home. You go to the next house. Makes sense? What is the last benefit? See, a person who's smoking, right? His whole body is collapsed. His liver is like damaged. He can't even stand his own leg. So he takes help of a stick. Alright? Now you tell me, if you have a stick in your hand, which puppy dog comes close to you? Because there's a fear. Anytime you can whack it. Right? That's a benefit. So I hope nobody is smoking here. Maybe nobody has a habit. If you have this habit, you can tell these stories to your friends. Okay? Good. Okay, so let's check with this. So this is a nice analogy. So there were 2 people. One was Casey John. One was, let's say, your friend MBBS. So I'll ask another person. What's your name? Prathamesh. Okay. Okay, just don't take it seriously, okay? Let's say you have a heart problem, okay? And you have a very less money with you. You can't go outside the city because it's too expensive. You have a heart problem. But then you know there is a doctor by name Casey John. He's a cardiologist. But you also have a very good best friend. He's MBBS. But the problem is, this guy has no experience in operation. You know Munna, remember, recall? Okay? So, when you have this problem, what will you do? Whom do you approach? Do you approach your friend MBBS who has no experience, or will you approach Casey John? Don't confuse him, huh? Okay, he says Dr. Casey John. But just now there was a breaking news. What was that? This Dr. Casey John got into some scandals. While he's doing operation, he removes kidneys, kidney choke, whatever, So still, Prathamesh, what do? You want to, what do you want to do? He's not speaking. Can you believe this? Whom will you choose? Okay, so he says he'll choose MBBS friend. But the problem is he has no experience. So for him it's like a bone. He must experience. He's doing full research on Prathamesh. He has no experience. You want to give a try like that? What's your experience? You want to go for operation? No, right? So, my question to all of you, if this is a situation to you, what will you do? Raise your hands. Okay, yes. Don't get confused. Just answer whatever you. She says she go to another doctor, but I told you earlier there's only one doctor and you cannot travel out of the city. It's very expensive. So you have to deal with these two guys only. Okay? So you select what you're going to do. Go with the MBBS. Sure? What about the last benches? MBBS. But he has no experience. Okay, he says he has knowledge, but he has no experience. Maybe he is doing first time for the operation. What while doing the operation for Prathamesh, he gets scared and he will do something goof up. Okay, somebody says leave without operation. Okay, so the right answer is okay. What about this side? What do you think? Do you want your friend to go in when he's part of your campus here? What do you want to do? There's no third choice. Okay, shall I give the answer? Very simple. Sometimes we talk about common sense, right? Best is get both of them in the operation, no? Because when this guy tries to say kidney shows, hey, he's my friend, what are you doing? Don't do that. Okay. Alright? So best is get so that you'll be safe. Okay? Alright? Makes sense? Okay, so now why I gave this example, because all of us do have knowledge, skills, but then it depends upon the person of a character. If it's the hand of a doctor, he can save somebody's life. If it's the hand of a cook, he can make nice preparation. Other girls can do like that, But if it's the hand of a thief, he can kill a person. So what is important is character, right? The goal of education is what? Okay, now can someone define what do you mean by character? Just one line. Like what is character like? You want to give it a try?
It is something which will define your personality.
Okay, good. She says character is something which will define the personality. Amazing, good answer. Anybody else? Raise your hands. Don't see. Yeah, go ahead. If you have no mic, you can just raise your voice. Because the values which you have to follow in morality is very good. Any more answers? Okay, you can write it down. It's a very profound definition. Character means doing things when nobody is watching. Make sense? Character means doing things when nobody is watching. Now, in today's age, we have this problem, addiction. That's why it said an addiction to distraction is end of your creative production. Right? So, character means doing things when nobody is watching. It's very, very important. You may show yourself to be a very gentleman in front of everybody. But when you're alone, that shows what a person you are. Make sense? Good. Okay. Can somebody repeat this? When wealth is lost, okay, all together. When wealth is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. And when character is lost, everything is lost. Correct? So when you have bad health, you can weaken them. But let's say you have a bad character, it's very, very difficult to come back. That's why it's very important. So can somebody say this without seeing the board? I'll repeat this. When wealth is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost, and everything is lost. Who can say this? Give it a try. Mistakes makes man rich. Want to give it a try? Close your eyes and give it a try.
When wealth is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. And when character is lost, everything.
So basically, why I gave this prayer, because all of you are very smart here, you know. That's why you're all using smartphone. How many of you don't have smartphone? Okay. Okay, maybe in the future once you get a good salary, you can have a smartphone. Okay. Okay, same thing what I told you. Okay, it's very important. See, there is enough for everyone's need, but not for one man's greed. Makes sense? You know? See, the body needs engagement. Because you're all young, right? Body needs engagement. Mind needs absorption. That's how we can survive, correct? And then it says, intelligence needs challenges. And the soul needs love. Correct? But today, if you really want to have all these four things, you should understand what is Shreyas and what is Prayas. For example, Shreyas are those kind of people who have long-term goals. They're very patient, you know. Whereas Prayas, Dil mange more, give me more, right now I need it. I will have no patience. So, you want to go to which category? Prayas or Shreyas? Shreyas. Because if you're Shreyas, then you will be a very good leader. Like we have two types of leader. Personal leader and a public leader. Okay. So a public leader may have competence, you know, very good charisma like of but a personal leader has charisma, competence, also character. If you want to become a public leader, if you don't have character, then you'll be a misleader. Okay? So always one thing you have to keep in your life. If you have a good character, right values, bright future. So you may sound, Prabhuji, why are you teaching me all this kindergarten stuff? No, there's a great need. Do you all know how many of us have challenges in today's situation, especially the youth, because of addiction? Innumerous people suicide. I want to show a couple of videos. You will be surprised to see this. And okay, how many of us go to sleep early? What time you all go to sleep? Generally? 10, 12 o'clock. Oh my gosh. Okay, as per the science, it is said that anybody who goes to sleep before 9 o'clock, you all know the nature has three modes. Mode of goodness, mode of trigger by passion, and then mode of ignorance. That is Sattva Guna, Rajaguna and Tamaguna. You all know this, right? So generally, if you want to be a good gentleman, you have to be in mode of Sattva Guna, that is mode of goodness. So it is said, as per the science, somebody can get a sleep before 9. They are amazing. Why? Because from 9 to 12, this 3 hours is compared as 6 hours. Sometimes we say that we have no sleep, right? Try sleeping from this time, 9 to 12. You will be very active the whole day. And the other way around is, if you sleep for 10 hours in a day, you still feel, I want to sleep. Correct? You all have experience, right? That's why you have to try to sleep early. That's before 9 o'clock. So if it's 9 to 12, it's like 3 hours, but you're getting benefit of 6 hours. And from 12 to 3, it is 3 hours. And from 3 to 6, it is 3 hours, but it is half, that is 1.5 hours. That's why if you want, that's why I recommend the students also, if you want to prepare for your exams, don't study in the night, study in the early morning. Early morning you get very nice dreams, but you know what, tapasya, you have to take little austerity. Nothing comes easy. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's very important. Because people who are in mode of goodness, they are very steady. They are like very focused like Arjuna. And people who are in mode of passion, triggered by passion, they are very shaky. Sometimes they may change their opinions. And people who are in mode of ignorance, they are God-faced. I'm going to say, just like a water, if it is stagnant, what happens? It starts stinking, right? That is why any good activity we do it in the night. No, we do it in the early morning. Good morning to all of you. Yeah, it's the morning. Alright, not in the night. That's why we have to try ourselves to come from ignorance to passion. Passion to goodness. That's why people who are in goodness, they have this problem. Love at first sight, divorce at first fight. Right? Because why? They have no values. Very, very important. Okay, are you on the same page? Okay, I'll quickly play a small video so that you can feel more. And whenever you have a question, please do raise your hands. Okay? And at the last, we'll have question answers. Okay? Okay. I enjoy it, right? Okay, I'll show you level 1, okay? Level 2 I'll show you. So you saw that? They say in English, money is sweeter than honey. Money is sweeter than honey if it is somebody else's money. Makes sense, right? As I was telling you earlier, the more you learn, the more you earn, right? So it's very important. If you look at very great people like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, or even Warren Buffett, who is the most one of the richest person on the planet, he's famous for one thing: reading books. I think he almost reads one book every week. And Steve, not 1 week, maybe 5 hours a day he reads. Whereas Steve Jobs almost like 1 book to 1 week. So if you see a common theme, reading, because they always want to become as a learner. So even in your case also, if you are have this habit of learning, then you will be in the top. If you say, okay, this is sufficient for me, then you are in trouble. Okay, good. So you all enjoyed the video? Wow, I also enjoyed the video. Okay, this topic, happiness, we will cover soon. We'll put right now in the parking lot. Okay. So now it says we are not human beings with a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings with a human experience. So why I give this example? Because generally we have a tendency to learn things shortcut. Right? How many of you agree? Shortcut. So I want to tell you one nice story. Okay. So this is a story of a horse. And let's say, can I get some name? I got your name. Yes, what's your name? Mayur. Okay. So let's say Mayur, he's now working in the Canara Bank and he got his first salary. He's very happy and he has a car. So he is traveling. Okay. Somewhat, there was a heavy rain and he lost the way. And then he entered into a jungle. Now he has money, he has a new car, and he is into a jungle. Are you happy? Are you at the moment? No, because you want to go back home, right? So now someone was very disappointed. He was trying to say, how can I go back home? Then he saw a monk, like he's sitting there and doing some meditation. Okay, and he comes, says, can you help me? I say, yes, I would love to help you. So he says, I want to go back home immediately. I said, if you want to go back, it's raining, just be here for some time. Once the rain stops, then you can go. No, I want to go home right now. It was very stubborn, I wanted. I said, okay, fine. So what you can do is, I have a horse, okay? And this horse has special mantra. So I would recommend all of you to memorize this mantra. The first mantra is, thank God. What? Thank God. That's the first mantra. The second mantra is, save me. What? Yeah. So if you say thank God, the horse starts moving. Okay? And when I say save me, the horse stops. So Mayur, I told him, see, I gave you the mantra. It at least takes a week for you to, undergo this course. You have to memorize the mantra. I said, no. I'm okay. I know the mantra. So let's ask him, what's the mantra? Okay, thank God means what does the horse do? Okay, what about save? Okay, so now Mayur is very confirmed. So he got 2 mantras. One is thank God and save me. So he's very confident. He says, yes, I know the mantra. Give me the horse. So what I would do, I would not stop because generally we don't stop. Okay, go ahead. So now our Mayur is no more in the car. He's sitting in a horse. Okay, nice experience you're gonna have. Okay, so as he's traveling, he says, thank God, thank God, thank God. The horse starts moving faster and faster and faster. And he forgot the other mantra. He forgot the other mantra, save me. So he said, he's telling the horse, thank God. He's telling the horse, stop. Thank God, thank God, thank God. But the horse is going more faster. Then Mayur saw there's a cliff. If I go more than that, I'm going to die. So he was like praying for the God. Says, thank God, thank God. The horse is going full fast. Now almost it came to the cliff. It's going to just jump and he's going to go off. But then luckily he got some memory, He says, save me. And the horse also was very obedient. It just stopped. As it stopped, he took a long breath. He said, thank God. What happened? Why? Because he learned in just few minutes, shortcut. So if you learn in shortcut, you'll also lose in shortcut. That is why we have to spend time. Okay? So if you spend time, then it makes a big difference. That's why whenever you're doing any activity, 4 things you have to keep in mind. That do it with the attention. Okay? Okay? Do it with the attention. Then here to the absorption. Alright? And then deal with affection. Serve with devotion. So when you have these 4 things in your mind, then you will be steady. That is more of goodness. But now what's happening is trying to balance passion and ignorance, but is looking at the mode of goodness. Is it possible? It's not possible. That's why Mother Teresa, you all Mother Teresa, right? She says, don't try to do big things. Try to do small things in a big way. Make sense? You do big things. You do small things in a bigger way. Because don't try to impress people. Just try to express. You'll be safe. Okay. Okay, now before I go ahead, we all know that in our life we have to balance ourselves. Sometimes you have good, you have bad, you have a lot of emotional challenges. So we will try to cover this. So there are 3 dimensions in life. Okay, one is IQ. What does IQ stand for? Any guess? Intelligent quotient. Very good. And what about EQ? Emotional quotient. Okay. What about SQ? Spiritual quotient. Very good. Amazing. I told you all are smart boys. Smart people. Good. Okay. So let's work on IQ. Generally, if you want to apply for any good job, whatever, they want to test whether this guy is qualified or not. So they'll have a IQ test. So can I have a quick IQ test here? Okay. So I'll close my eyes. I'll just roll. Whoever I find, I'll just ask them to stand. Okay. 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 I saw you first. Please stand up. Okay. So now I'm going to ask you a very simple IQ test. See, I think this is all about not to drill your mind. Simple thinking. Okay. The question is, how do we put a giraffe into a refrigerator? How do you put giraffe, the long neck column, into a refrigerator? He needs a mic. No, I'll manage. Same time. He says we have to imagine. No need to imagine. Okay, I'm going to ask you, okay? Okay, you're wearing a mask. So you can open your mask and give an answer now.
Maybe by opening the door.
Huh?
Maybe by opening the door.
Okay. Can we have a big round of applause? She's right, but she's not confident. Yeah, you have to open the door and put the giraffe into the fridge. See, I told you, don't try to think too much. Simple question. So he says, I should imagine a what? No. This is the problem, no? Simple, okay? So the question is, how do you put giraffe into the refrigerator? Just open the fridge, put the giraffe. That's it. Simple, okay? Okay, next question, I'll go towards here. Okay, I'll ask you, how do we put an elephant into a refrigerator? Hold the mic. Watch the screen there. It's coming up in the video. Fast. That's all? No, you're not. Yes. Okay. She's telling just by opening the door. No? Some more. Anybody else want to give a try? Okay, we'll give a try to a teacher also. Okay, we'll just give a try, no problem. Just say no.
No, it is not.
Alright. Okay. Whoever raises his hands, I will ask them. Okay, fine. Okay, you want to switch hands? The question is, how do we put an elephant into a refrigerator? Okay, simply by opening not working, you have to open the refrigerator. First, remove the giraffe sitting in the refrigerator and then put elephant. Okay? See, this tells you your thinking process. Okay? Alright. Somebody raise hands there, so I'll come to you now. Okay. Let's say there is a lake which is filled with crocodiles. Okay. And there's a lion who is the king of jungle has invited for a big feast. If I ask you how do you cross towards the lake, what do you do? How do you cross towards the lake? Simple question. The lake is filled with crocodiles. The lion has invited for a party. Okay? So, okay, everybody comes except one animal doesn't come. I'm just telling. Okay, it is elephant because nobody told me you have to do the elephant. The elephant is in the area. The question I ask you is, if I ask you to cross over the lake, very simple, you can easily swim and go because there's no crocodiles. They are all gone to the party. Yeah, that's the right answer. You see, it's very simple, but then we complicate ourselves. Okay, I'll ask you one question. Let's see, whoever answers, they are really genius. Okay, so hear the question very carefully. Okay, son, you go out, I come in. What's the answer? When I got a job in Microsoft, I got this question and I answered it. Okay, you should raise your hands, not saying, okay, what? Perfectly wrong answer. Okay. Anybody want to give a try? Please make an attempt, no problem. Yes. He just not told moon, I told perfectly wrong answer. So, anything? You want to give a try? I don't know. Okay. Just want to give a try? Okay? No, not okay. Think about it. It's very simple, okay? Son, you go out, I come in. What's the answer? Not moon, please. Say what? I. No. Night? No. Say very simple. Okay, what's spelling of sun, by the way?
S-U-N.
Sun. Oh, yes, sun, S-U-N. Right. Okay. So, talking about sun, you go out, I come in. What's the answer? Sin. S-I-N, sin. Right? It's so easy, but we complicate ourselves. Not moon, huh? Okay, S-U-N, sun. S-U-N, sun. So I'm asking you, you go out, I come in. So it's sin. Okay? No problem. We are all learning, okay? Okay, that was IQ, and let's go for EQ. Okay, what's EQ? I forgot. What's EQ? I think now you're all opening up. Before you were like this reserve. Okay, EQ. Alright, so I would want you to raise hands, not just give answer. So I'm going to show you some EQs, some emotional phases. Just tell me what does this face represent. Okay? The first picture is, okay, what do you see there? He's happy, smiling. Okay, good. He's crying. I'm not sure. He's not crying. He's screaming actually. Okay. What about this? Surprise. Okay. And what about this? Not sad. Not angry. Not confused. Not upset. You look, she's upset? No, man, it's not upset. Give it a try. Last benches. Give it a try. Scared of you? No? Okay? Not confused. You want to give it a try, sir? Oh, did you get it? No? Huh? Jealous? What? No? Stressed? No. Okay, I'll give you a clue, okay? It starts from the word D. Not doubtful, right? So one thing. Well, yes. Depressed? No? Disturbed? No? Not? Yeah, what's the answer? What's your name? Absolutely right answer. It's called disgusted. Not disappointed. Disgusted, okay? Good. Okay. This is very simple. What about this? Fear. And what about this? He's not sad, he's crying. Maybe lost his girlfriend, I'm not sure. But he's like crying. Okay, so now why I showed you all the six because very important to know, a man with a high IQ but low EQ will self-destruct now to cause damage to society. Like Osama bin Laden, like Adolf Hitler, they ruined people, you know. So, but you know what? Osama bin Laden, he was a double PhD holder, you know, engineer, but his EQ was pathetic. So don't consider that if I have a very good IQ, I am the best. No, you're not the best. You should have EQ. And it says, a person with a lower IQ but higher EQ can succeed in life. Similarly, when it comes to SQ, it's all about fundamental questions. When you see a wall and the ladder, what comes to your mind is, why should I climb the wall? Right? That's a fundamental question. It says, if the ladder is not leaning against the right wall, every step we take just gets us to the wrong place faster. See that? Make sense? Okay, some of the fundamental questions when it comes to SQ, we may ask, who am I? Then what is the goal of life? I want to be happy. Why should I suffer? And who is God? So the whole purpose of education is to build what? Character. Fantastic, you are right. Yeah, character. And what do you mean by character? Please shame. What do you mean by character? Doing things well? Fantastic. Good. Okay, now why do I say that when it comes to IQ, EQ, SQ is the ultimate intelligence. Why? Because if you have good SQ, you'll be happy. Then it makes you a better person. Alright? And then you will learn to lead yourself. At lastly, you will be success. No God, no peace. No God, no peace. Makes sense, right? Okay, so why I am sharing all these things? Because once I was giving a class in MIT, okay, there I asked a student, can you please define, according to you, how do you define a lecturer? Generally, in your school, colleges, you always interact with the lecturer, right? So I asked a question to the student. Can you define what do you mean by lecturer? How do you define lecturer? So if I ask you the same question, can someone define in your own words? What do you mean by lecturer? Like what is lecturer? You know, define lecturer. So how do you say? What do you define?
Who share his knowledge with us.
Okay. Who share his knowledge with us? Very good. From boys' side, what do you give a try? You want to give a try? I don't know. Okay. What do you give a try? Okay. So the same question I asked in the class to one of my students, not one of my students, every my student. So now the student told, a lecturer is a person who has a terrible bad habit in speaking in somebody's sleep. Oh my God, what was that? A lecturer is a person who has a terrible habit who's speaking in somebody's sleep. Now, whose habit is bad? Is the student who's sleeping or the lecturer who wants to share the knowledge? You know the answer. Alright? So, what I'm telling you is, this habit, now it's a very strong word. What's the spelling of habit? H-A-B-I-T, right? If you remove H, still it says a bit. You remove A, still bit. You remove B, still it. Chata nahi, chipak ke hota hai wo. It's like, you know, it's very sticky, right? So similarly, it says being a slave to a bad habit or a servant of a good habit, you have a choice. So you have a choice whether you have a good habit or bad habit. Why I think this? Because it says we make our habits and habits makes us. So I wanted you to read this louder, okay? Take your thoughts because soon. Oh, sorry, you have to go anywhere? You have to drink? Okay. Check your thoughts because soon those thoughts will turn into words. Check your words because soon those words will turn into actions. Check your actions because soon those actions will turn into habits.
Check your habits because soon those actions will turn into character. And check your character because soon those characters will turn into destiny.
It makes sense? Makes sense, right? It says, check your thoughts because soon those thoughts will turn into words. What's in your thought that comes in your word? This is ego, right? Garbage in, garbage out. Good in, good out. Right? Makes sense? So whenever you are going outside, you have to know this. You have the Gandhi's, close your eyes, all these things, right? So, check your thoughts because that's going to become your words. And check out your words because soon those words are going to be action. And then action into habit. Habit into character. And the same character will be into destiny. Very, very important, very profound actually. That's why you have to always try to choose the best habit. Okay? Good. Okay, so now I will not take much time. So as I was sharing the video, we are all looking for happiness. Correct? So, happiness or peace, whatever you say in your language. But if you ask for a child, even the child also wants happiness. But the source of happiness of the child is toys. Correct? After some time, he says, I want a bicycle. After some time, bike. And then after that, not car, you want someone to sit behind the bike. Girlfriend, alright? Okay? And then get married, then house. Of course, car also can have it. Okay? So if you see, the theme is, the reality is, he is looking for happiness, happiness, happiness. Correct? But you know what? There's a problem. What? There's a problem. What's the problem? The problem is, we don't know how to find happiness, where to find happiness. Because Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita, Dukkhavem Ashashvatam. Can someone tell me here, okay, you're sitting, what's your name? Huh? Sanket, if you can give a call to your parents now, just ask them, when you took birth, you were crying or smiling? You are crying, confident. You was crying. That means, the moment he took birth, he was crying. If he doesn't cry, somebody was laughing. Right? But when Lord Krishna, he took birth, he was smiling. Right? That's why he is the Supreme Lord. So here, this is a verse from Bhagavad Gita. Okay? It says, Bhoktaram ekatapasam sarva loka maheshwaram suhurtam sarva bhutanam gnatva mam shanti rachyate. So what does it mean? It means that Bhoktaram ekatapasam. We should know this fact that I am not the enjoyer. The Supreme Lord is the enjoyer. Right? He is the master, I am the servant. Just like when you go out raining, you can't say stop raining. No, it will rain more. So you take help of an umbrella. Right? That means you're not independent, you're dependent. Makes sense, right? And then Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. That means Lord is the proprietor. He is the owner. And today, you all be knowing in Jagannath Puri, we are having a very big festival today. What is it? Ratha Yatra. Very good. Jagannath Ratha Yatra ki jai. So in Jagannath Ratha Yatra, we see Lord Jagannath there. Right? Who's Lord Jagannath? They say Jagat ka Malik Jagannath, they say. Right? And the Supreme Lord. He is the proprietor. He is the owner. But then, we say I am the owner. For example, let's say I have this mic. So I say I am the owner. When the mic is lost, I'm in the anxiety. Where is my mic? I'm the owner. I have to get it back. So better you understand, whatever comes to you, it's because Lord has given to you. Whatever goes in from you, Lord has taken back. Nothing is yours. If you know this concept, you'll be very peaceful. Make sense? And the last is Suhurdam Sarva Bhutana. That means Lord is our well-wisher. He is our true friend. But today you see, a friend is like a tick for tat. For example, I want to be a friend with this couple. This couple is here. So I will make friendship with him only if I know how much money he is earning. So there's a tick for tat, barter system, Not that, a friend in a need is a friend in a deed. That is gone. Why? Because we are in a 21st century, Kali Yuga. The scripture says, Prayana alpa ayeshu kalo asmanyugejana manda sumanda matayu manda bhagya padruta. That means people who want to be happy, they're not happy. People who want to live for 100 years, but Corona is coming and troubling us, People are like, people want to be lucky, but they are unlucky. Alright? So what we want, it's not coming to us. Correct? That is why, if you consider, I've seen even in today's situation, people fight, brothers fight for the property, So how do we say they are our well-wisher? They are our true friend. So it's only the Lord, because Lord keeps watching all the time. Alright? And the last is Natma Mam Shanti Rachate. So when we understand these three formulas, what is the first formula? The Lord is an enjoyer. For example, my name is Mahatma Priya Das. Das means servant, Because I am Das, I am Bindas. Okay, if I am not Das, then I will be always Udas. Right? That's right. So you have to become a servant. You should know he is the master, I am a servant. He is the boss. But then we want to become a boss. I told you, right? Prakritiya kriyamanani gunai karmane tarvesha ahankara vinudakta kartama miti manyate. The moment you think I am the doer, you get ahankara, I am. If it's lost, you will be disappointed. Right? That's why always take a very simple, humble role. Alright? Okay, we're almost there. Okay, so before I speak about meditation, we all know meditation is a common word, Nowadays, not just in the Eastern world, even in the Western world, We have seen there are many yoga centers, yoga studios, meditation centers, mainly why to de-stress the mind, de-intoxify, right? So we can see one thing, that everybody wants to have some kind of a relief to the mind. That's why we say mantra. What is mantra? Man means mind, tra means that which delivers the mind. Right? So for example, let's say he has just done his exam. Okay, he's very happy. Somebody told, I got the result, you failed last exam. So will he able to, and you give him samosa. Samosa is there. Will he able to eat samosas? No, he'll be disappointed. Samosa is there, but not able to eat. Why? He gave a bad news. Well, you failed, man. Let it eat first and then you tell. Right? That's why mental pressure is always there. So if you want to keep the mind very calm, you should know what Gita says. Arjuna, being a great friend of Krishna, he himself says, Chanchalani mana Krishna, pranadi bhadavat kridam tasya nikrahamanya vayu eva. Matlab is telling, Krishna, you know what? I can control the wind, not the mind. Why? Because mind is chanchala, very flickering. Sometimes I want this, I want this. Mind is very tempting, That's why if you want to calm your mind, this is very important. What is that? Meditation. Before that, I have one or two videos I'll just play, and then we'll talk about the benefits, and then we will end the class. Okay? Okay. So where is our first? Okay, you saw the video. So in this person is mode of which? Is in the mode of goodness or ignorance or passion? Ignorance. Ignorance, perfect. Okay. So in your ignorance, what happens? Ahankara vimudatmakam tamam dimanyate. You feel I am the doer. Alright? Okay. I think you all like videos, right? I have a couple of videos. That's why don't take panga, okay? Okay, great. So now I'm going to play a video which is a live incident. It's not that we made this video, it's a live video. You just watch this and you see how God is there or not, you can decide. Just watch this video. It's 2 minutes video, it's called Child, okay? It was a live, we have recorded the voice, we're just going to play this. It's one more. It's called God Experience Child, okay? Are you all ready to watch this video? Yes. Okay.
On New Year's Day, I was there, and there's a great cardiac surgeon in Baroda called Srila Prabhupada. He's a very famous heart specialist. You cannot get an appointment with him for at least a month before. You have to approach him 1 month before you get an appointment. He has got doctors in Ahmedabad, Baroda, and Rajkot. Hundreds of doctors are there. The junior doctors examine, give the report, and only if Dr. Mehta has to see, he will see. Otherwise, there's no need. He is a very personal friend of mine. When I was in Baroda on 1st January, evening we were sitting in the corridors of the hotel, waiting for the dinner. He's about 69-year-old man, sitting before me and narrating an incident. He said, Doctor, you know, recently an incident happened that changed me. Believe me, he's not an emotional man. He cuts at least 10 hearts every day. Physically. He was narrating an incident. He said on 27th of December, before that, 21st of December, a couple walked into his office with a small child of 6-year-old, a girl, and the file was given to doctor. Junior doctors had made a report, and the child's heart has a problem. Being a senior seasoned doctor, the moment he looked at the file, he could make out case is bad. Total clogging. Nothing can be done about it. He explained it to the parents and said, Sir, I'm very sorry. Situation is quite bad. There are only 2 options now. One is make the child undergo operation immediately. Immediate is already quite late. But I should remind you, should warn you that the success rate is only 30%. That means even if I operate the child may die on the operation table 70%. 30% she may succeed. But if you don't make her undergo operation, she will not survive beyond 3 months. It's come to that stage. What will you do? What can the parents do? They cried their heart out. They said, Sir, we'll take the chance. We pray God that the 30% will help us, bless us, and our child will survive. Please do the operation immediately. The child was admitted to the hospital. Date was fixed. 6 days before the operation, child was admitted to ward for preparations and early tests. Mother stayed with the child. This is an important incident for me. The mother stayed with the child, to accompany the child, and every day evening, mother would have prayers and make the child say prayers. She would put vibhuti on the child's forehead and say, pray God, God will keep you, God will bless you. The child believed. And now the operation day came, you visualize it, sterilized operation theatre, and all the doctors were there. Dr. Srila Mehta entered at the end, wearing his green sterilized coat and cap and mask and gloves. He came inside, everything was ready. He saw the 6-year-old on the operation table. Somewhere it reached him. We don't know. The child is alive now. But by the end of the operation, child may not survive. Success rate is very small. He just started, just to encourage the child, patted on the back and said, don't worry child, we'll be alright. The child looked up and said, I'm not worried doctor, but I have a question to ask. Question? What question do you have? The child said, Doctor, everybody is telling me that I had to undergo open heart surgery. Open heart surgery. Does it mean that you open my heart completely? The doctor did not know how to respond. He just said, don't worry child, you will never see the pain. You will not know the pain. I'll give medicine for it. Don't worry. He said, I'm not worried doctor again. My question still remains. What is the question? Do you open my heart completely? Because my mother keeps telling me every day that God resides in the heart. God resides in the heart. When you open my heart, kindly see whether there is God inside. If he is there, watch him. And when I'm all right, tell me how he looks like. This man was totally baffled. He did not know how to respond. He said, okay. The operation started. 45 minutes into operation, not even a drop of blood was coming into the heart. The heart-lung machine was on, and slowly the pulse rate started coming down, the BP came down, and doctor said, "That's the end of it. Child cannot survive. It just cannot survive." And told his junior doctor, "Come on, switch it up, and that's over. Close it. Child cannot survive. Sorry, will not save the child." As he was saying, suddenly child's words came into his mind, started hitting him. The child had asked, "When you open the heart, please see whether God is there." Dr. Mehta, as he was sharing this with me, I get emotional when I started sharing that. Sitting in front of me, he was crying like a child. He was saying, "You know, I have done so many operations for the last 40 years, 50 years. My hands were soaked in blood. Suddenly, child's words came to my mind. I just folded my hand there and said, God, all my knowledge, all my skills as a doctor has come to a naught now. I cannot save this child." And child and the mother, everybody believes that you are in the heart. If you are there, only you save the child. It is beyond me now. He became so emotional, he was crying. He told his nurse next, "Come on, take out my spectacle, I can't see anything." Nurse pulled out his spectacle. He wiped his tears. At that time, the doctor next to him elbowed him and said, "Doctor, blood is coming into the heart now." Dr. Mehta told me, "I don't believe in miracles. Some physical phenomena must have happened." Immediately, I put my glass and said, "Come on, put the machine on. Don't stop it. Push it on." And put the heart machine on. And then we started operating. For next 4.5 hours, operation was done. Operation was successful. And then he told me, the child's heart is absolutely clean now. Cleaned all the arteries. Child will survive at least 60 years. No problem. I was so feeling so happy. And he told me, "But still I have one worry now. When the child is alright, when I go to see her, she will ask me a question. Maybe see God? How is he? What will I tell her?" I told him, "Please tell the child, don't make an effort to see God. God is not seen, God is experienced. We all experience God, we not see God. Tell the child experience God." Do you know this incident has changed Dr. Mehta? He has put a photograph of God in the operation theatre. Earlier he was so confident of his skills and knowledge. Now before every operation he goes and stands before the photograph and says, "I am a small man. Whatever knowledge and skills I have tried, but I need your blessings." At the age of 69, Dr. Mehta said, "I became cultured now. And this child made me cultured." How did this child get this idea of thinking God resides in the heart? Because the mother said so. Why I am saying is, parents and teachers have such a tremendous responsibility, not just simply saying children are going away from culture. You can't stand like an umpire and declare verdict, say boys out. No. You should see that it does not get out. As teachers and parents, it is our job to see that culture is followed in our country, in our actions.
You saw that? Big difference, right? In fact, if I ask you how rich you are, if I ask you somebody how rich you are, so what will you say, Mayur? I'm not rich. I'm just asking you, if I want to judge you how rich you are, you may say, "I have a car, and I have a big house, I have a lot of friends," but that is not how you can determine if I am rich. If you want to know really how rich you are, if you are crying, how many hands will come close to you to wipe your tears? That shows how rich you are. And this person, he did so many operations, but there was no transformation. He had a lot of information, but this child got a big transformation. That's why it's very important to be godly consciousness. Because with godly consciousness, give and forgive. If you're not godly consciousness, get and forget. It's very important. So I'll play one last video and then we'll go to the last slide. Sometimes people wanted to know what's running in the Lord's mind, So So play a small video, you would love it, okay? Can I play it? Okay.
Trust God. Once upon a time, in a temple of Lord Krishna, there was a sweeper who was very sincere and devoted. Every time he saw thousands of devotees coming to take darshan of the Lord, he thought to himself,
The Lord is standing all the time giving darshan. He must be feeling very tired. Oh Lord, your feet must be aching. I want to help you. At least for one day, can I take your place so that you can have some rest?
Thank you, my dear. It is very nice of you, and I don't mind taking a break. But how will you take my place?
It's simple. You change me to look like you and change yourself to look like me.
Okay. I'll transform you like myself. But there is one condition. You must just stand here like me, smile at everyone and give blessings. Never interfere with anything and do not say anything. Just watch everything and be a witness.
the sweeper agreed to this and exchanged places with his lord. The next day, a rich man came to pray.
Oh Lord, please bless me. My business should go on well.
While leaving the temple, the rich man forgot to take his briefcase, which was full of money. Just then, a poor man came into the temple.
Oh Lord, please accept this coin, as this is all I can afford. Bless me to be engaged in your service always. My family is hungry and my heart is leaking. I need some help from you.
When he opened his eyes, he saw the briefcase left behind by the rich man. The poor man thanked the Lord for his kindness and generosity and took the briefcase. At that point, a sailor walked in.
Oh Lord, I'm going on a long trip. Please bless me so that I have a safe journey.
Just then, the rich man came in with the police.
There, he's the thief who stole my briefcase full of money.
Hey, did you think you could run away after robbing this gentleman? Come on, tell me where's the money?
I did not steal anything, sir. I don't have any money with me.
Then you must have given it to your friend who must have run away by now. Come with us to the police station.
Dear Lord, you know I am innocent. Why am I being punished then?
Thank you, Krishna. You are the one who helped us catch this thief.
The sweeper, in the form of the deity, could no longer tolerate the situation. He had to speak up now to save the sailor.
Stop! You're making a mistake. It was not this sailor who took the money. It was a poor man who came here before him.
Who is that speaking?
Here, I am God speaking.
This person is not only a thief but also a clever cheat. He is tricking us into thinking that the idol is speaking. Arrest him, quick!
The sailor was arrested and taken away. The sweeper felt very sad. In the evening, Krishna returned to the temple.
My dear, how was the day?
I thought it would be easy, Krishna, but it was difficult. I tried to do a good thing, but man does not seem to have actual faith in God at all.
The sweeper then told Krishna about the happenings of the day and how a sailor had been unfairly punished for the crime of the poor man.
Oh dear, why did you not stick to the plan? Don't you have faith in me? Do you think that I do not understand the hearts of all those who come here? The rich man had money which he had got by cheating someone. It does not belong to him. On the other hand, the single coin offered by the poor man was the only coin he had, but he gave it to me with full faith. The sailor might not have done anything wrong, but if he had gone in the ship today, he would have died because of bad weather. Instead, he is alive and safe now in the jail. Soon the police will apologize to him and release him.
I did not know all this.
I have a good plan for everyone's life. But because your faith in me is shaky, you try to do things on your own. Don't do that. Just trust me.
For everything that will.
Hare Krishna. Lights off. Okay, so we are in the last slides. So you all like the video? Remember I told you at the beginning of the class that this body is not all in all. Soul exists. This material world is not all in all. Spiritual world exists. And we are not all in all. God exists. Yes? Okay, I will take it. Okay, so these are a couple of slides we have. So let's talk about meditation, right? So what are the benefits of doing meditation? Freedom from sins, freedom from unwanted drives and habits, freedom from anxiety and stress, peace of mind and real happiness. Okay, and then enlightenment. So I like to mention a couple of people who are like very renowned, very famous, and they have their opinion. All these people are showing they underwent meditation, this chanting of the holy name. He says, Jean-Claude, he says, youngest director. So what does he say? He says, everything started happening for me when I began chanting Hare Krishna. Albert Rochefort, owner of Ford Motors. What does he say? Chanting Hare Krishna has made a tremendous impact in my life. So when I say mantra, Mahamantra, mantra means what? Man means mind, Tra means that which will deliver the mind. So in the scriptures, it says, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Vikevalam, Kalova Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Kathir Anyada. That means, generally if I say one time, you will forget. You will not even bother to know what I am saying. If it twice, still you don't care. If it 3 times, you feel like I am saying for you only. Alright? That's why it is mentioned in the scriptures. 3 times it is emphasized. In the age of Kali Yuga, the best way to be happy is to do this process of meditation, which is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And then we have N.D. Desai. What does he say? I have been chanting. Okay, you want to give it one? Louder.
I have been chanting Hare Krishna for many years, and I have never found anything more pleasurable. Just try to chant 5 to 8 minutes a day for a week, and you will feel the
Give the next one. More louder. What is this? What does he say?
chanting Hare Krishna has helped replace all the ups and downs in my life with a great confidence and peace.
Give the next model. Okay. Give the next person.
Chanting makes me feel close to God.
Significantly reduces stress, preparation, and the mode of endurance, and consequently increases. If I start my day on a spiritual note by chanting Hare Krishna, I can make it through the day in a pleasant mood. Chanting has opened my eyes to things I have never noticed. It's like beautiful music, a very peaceful feeling, very satisfying. When I am stressed out, I chant. It's wonderful. It charges my battery. It clears my mind and makes me back in focus.
It's like you all have a cell phone, right? So you put your phone for charging. And because of that, all you're able to communicate. Let's say you have a cell phone not charged. And somebody says I have a smartphone, not charged. Will you able to communicate? No, right? Let's say you have charged, but there's no signal. Will you able to communicate? No. Let's say your phone is charged and you have good signal, but there is no battery. Whatever, it will not work if you have everything. But this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is so simple. Always green signal. You just chant the Lord's holy name. It will bring a lot of peace and calm. Okay? Next, you want to give it?
Chanting has opened my eye. When I'm chanting very time, I don't get shaken from act legally.
Yeah. So whenever you feel nervous, whenever you feel stressed, just chant the Lord's name very peacefully. Next.
Life is not more brighter after starting to associate with Hare Krishna devotee and chant.
How it is. Just like for example, you see sometimes eagle, flying in the sky, and sometimes to catch the fish, it dives deep in the water and catches the fish. If the same fish is deep in the water, the eagle could not catch. But then what happens? The fish is at the top of the layer, the water, easily getting caught. Similarly, when we practice, when we go deep in meditation, become strong spiritually, then you will never have to face all these problems. Stress, frustration, depression. Why? Because you always feel very happy. They say in Hindi, "Jiske bandala, life ban gaya jingalala," right? Something like that. Okay. Okay. So this is what the mantra is. Can we all chant together? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
I said chant after here. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
This is the Mahamantra, the age of Kali Yuga. So, you see, before I entered into this place, I played a small video. Okay, and it was about ISKCON. So, ISKCON stands for International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Antarashtra Krishna Bhavana Sangh, we say. So, the founder Acharya is Srila Prabhupada. This man at the age of 70, one man at the age of 70, in the great land of India, he traveled the globe. In just 11 years, how many times he traveled? 14 times. And he built how many temples? 108 temples. It's really impossible thing, right? Old age, 70 years, but then it becomes possible. The word impossible says, I am possible. So everything is possible here, provided we have a strong determination. It's very important. As I've been telling you again and again, you are the future leaders. Okay? Today's youth are the future leaders, and you are going to be a role model, setting example in society. It's very important that we don't get into all the scandals. This will all happen only when you don't have values, especially character. So when you have good character, when you have good values, then your life will be very successful. You can bring the magnet of miracles in people's life. It is possible. Right? So you can 100% be very confident in what you're doing. Why? Just like a pencil. When you keep writing, sometimes the pencil stops writing. So what do? Take a sharpener and then sharpen. Similarly, if you don't try to sharpen your mind, then you'll have a big challenge. That's why all these things what I explained today, especially spirituality, is very, very important. And also I would like to thank the host, everyone, for giving this wonderful opportunity. It's my great privilege and honor to be here and to interact with all of you. And if you have any questions, I may take one or two questions and then we can discuss. Alright? Any questions you have, please raise your hands, don't feel shy. Asking question is a sign of our intelligence. Alright? Okay, yes. What's your name? Okay, Udhay.
There are thousands of gods humanity has ever believed. So how are you so sure that in that doctor made us a video that the God is your God and not someone else's God?
Okay, so he had a very good question. Just like I'm in India, I speak Hindi. So I say not sun, I say Surya. I say. Correct? Now somebody is in, let's say, America. He will not say Surya, he will say sun. Now we are giving a different name. Ultimately it is sun only. It is Surya only. So like that, a Muslim can say Allah, a Hindu can say Krishna. So people will give different names, but the person is the same. Now, I don't know, generally what happens, we make this mistake. What is that? We hear from here and then we hear, and then we come with a conclusion. But then, we don't go with a bona fide scriptures. Alright? Because if you see Lord Brahma, he says, Ishvara, Parama, Krishna, Satchidananda, Vigraha, Anadir, Adir, Govinda, Sarva, Karana, Karanam. Brahma is glorifying that Krishna is Supreme Lord. Just like you say, G-O-D, God. Right? So once the founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, when he was in America, somebody asked a question. He said, I want to become a God. Can you make me God? So you see, Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita, I give you intelligence, I give you memory, I give you forgetfulness. Smritir Gnanam Apahamcha. So you know what this Prabhupada replied to the person who was saying, I want to become a God? He said, generally somebody is God, he will never ask, I want to become a God. So you are not a God. You are like, wow, you got the answer. Makes sense? So like that, we cannot just make God here and there. It should be in the scriptures. The scriptures is mentioned. And this life incident, which anyways today is a doctor's day, right? Okay, good. So anyways, what I want to bring you conclusion here, that in the age of Kali Yuga, people have different ways to worship God. I'll tell you, there are 4 yugas. You all know, right? One is Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. And which Yuga we are in now today? Kali Yuga. Okay. Kali Yuga is like what? You do good to others, he will do bad for you. He will betray you. Because that's the symptom of Kali Yuga. Quarrel, hypocrisy, they go hand in hand. Then how is it possible? How we can be happy? The question comes now. Right? The question comes. So, in the age of Satya Yuga, people are very kind. For example, somebody has more wealth is to share to the neighbors. Correct? But in Kali Yuga, it's different. What they do is, let's say I have 100 rupees, I'll put the 100 rupees up in the sky and I say whatever God can catch, it is for him. Whatever it's coming down, it's for me. Provided God should know how to play cricket. Right? So the consciousness it keeps on decreasing, deteriorating. That is why in the age of Kali Yuga, people used to live 100 years. Whereas in the age of Dwapara, just 1,000. Treta, 10,000. And Sati Yuga, 1 lakh. But now, it is very, very seldom to find people who are still alive for 100 years. Correct? Because the food we are eating, they are all genetic modified food. Correct? So we don't get, and we say it's organic food. Those days was not like that. You ask your ancestors, they are very healthy. But now, health is lost, something is lost. Wealth is lost. No, what's happening with you guys? When wealth is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, and when capital is lost. So now, at the current situation, if you have a good character, that's what, for example, if I want to know how Uday is, I'm not going to ask him, I'm going to just check with his friends how they are. By talking to them, I'll determine, this is how Uday is. Jaise sang waise rang. They say, right? That's why, when I say association, sang is right, it has 3 things. What is it? The first point is that there should be a healthy discussion. Alright? Healthy discussion. Second, there should be knowledge transformation. Okay? And last, there should be a heart transformation. That is called good sung. Not tit for tat. Okay? Okay, thank you. It was a good question. So I thank everybody for this, for your wonderful time. I know I almost dragged 10 minutes or 20 minutes more, but I'm very grateful for you, patiently listening to me. So I take this as a privilege. And I also like to thank once again the host for giving this opportunity. So please do your best. Lord will do the rest. And I wish you all the, but don't fail the test. Okay? Thank you. Hare Krishna.